good, baby girl, in the good, in the good.
It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
I went out to get some takeout on Saturday about 5 o'clock. And I live in Arroyo Grande, and I was going to Shell Beach. And I picked up my food, and I'm driving back, and I can see there's a Coast Guard helicopter. I actually saw it when I was going to get the takeout, flying out over the ocean. And then when I came back on Shell Beach Road, I could see there was a Coast Guard cutter or, one of their boats out in the in that area by Dinosaur Caves Park, just kind of bobbing around.
Was the ocean rough?
And, I mean, not any more than normal.
Because the video footage I saw of the boat, it seemed like it was bouncing around quite a bit.
It was bouncing, yeah, because it's right there where the waves kind of come in right before they break.
Okay. I would just think that it would have a more stable boat being the Coast Guard.
I mean, it's a pretty good-sized boat, too. Yeah. So maybe it was. I don't know. But and if you didn't watch the news, you didn't hear what happened. Apparently, there was a woman standing on the cliff and obviously too close because she fell into the water. And then a man that was with her, I don't know if they was husband, brother, boyfriend, cousin, whatever, jumped in the water after to try to rescue her. And apparently CAL FIRE was called, and they couldn't find them. They got reports from other people that said we might have seen them come out of the water, get in a car, and leave. But the Coast Guard was like, well, we're going to keep looking. And they looked, I guess, through the rest of the evening into the next day. There was fog, and it lifted, and then they went and looked some more. And my question is...
That's totally something I would have done, too. If I fell in the water or just got my car and left, I wouldn't have said, hey.
But now everybody's talking about it. It's all over the news. It's on, it's Facebook.
I know.
Wouldn't you say, well, maybe we'll just call the local sheriff's office and say, this is San Luis Obispo County, and say, hey, by the way, I'm not sure who to call here, but we were the ones that fell in the water and we're fine. So, you don't have to put all that manpower and fuel and cost and all that stuff out there. What if somebody else would have got hurt looking for you? People, people were just looking for them. Why not just make that phone call?
Did they ask for help? That's my question.
No. Somebody said they saw her fall, and he dove in after her to save her life.
Reported it.
He was worried.
Maybe this is some kind of weird game, and they're advanced swimmers, and this is what they like to play. I don't know.
I highly doubt that's what
I don't
it was.
understand why it should be the fault of the people that fell in, because they got out successfully of the water and then
okay, let me ask you this question.
They climbed up and they got in their car and they called it a day. I don't
Let's say it was your
why
wife.
they should be at fault.
Let's say it was your wife and she wanted to get close to look at something and then she fell and then you decided to jump in after her because you were worried that she wasn't a great swimmer or whatever.
Which I would worry about.
And you get back to the beach and you're just thankful that everybody's okay and you're like, wow, that was a close call. And then you get home that night and you see that the Coast Guard is looking for you. Number one, I would be grateful. Would you be grateful that people were actually looking for you, afraid that you might still be out there? Mm-hmm. Because if you were still out there, you would hope you would get rescued.
Not everybody consumes the news like you do.
Well, hold on a second. I'm just asking you a couple of questions. Okay. These are normal questions that anybody could answer.
Okay.
You find out the Coast Guard's looking for you. Now, number one, if you were still in the water and they rescued you, you would be very grateful. Number two, if you make it back to shore and you make it home and you find out on the your friends call you or I don't know, you hear it on the radio or the TV or the Facebook or whatever. Like, oh my God, they're talking about us.
It is entirely possible that the people did not hear about it, though. That you would not hear about it at all. Be like, whew, that was a close call. Let's call it a night. Watch a movie. Turn on the fire. Get some takeout, whatever. And I hate that I'm going to say this because it's going to make me seem like a generalist, but I'm going to. Okay? In the report that I saw, the girl had blue hair, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She's going to stick out.
She's good. Well, true. But she had blue hair, and I tend to think that people that have blue hair don't watch the news. Or they would be more predisposed to not watch the news or care about what's going on in the world as far as you would watch the news. You watch the news religiously. You watch the news a lot.
That's not true.
Well,
I saw this on Facebook, to be honest. I saw this in person, and then I text my buddy because he works at the kayak shop down there, and I said, "You hear anything about this?" He goes, "No, but I saw this on KSBY," and he sent me a link.
Isn't it entirely possible that this was a bigger story to everybody who was not involved than it was to the people that were involved, and they just walked out of the water and called it a day.
Or they're still out there and their bodies will wash up.
Possibly.
I mean, it happens all the time.
But
right?
there was a report that they saw two people, and why is it not the first? Why is it not the person's the one that reported go up to him and say, "Hey, did you guys just fall in the water?" or something along those lines?
Well, when you're up at Dinosaur Caves Park and you look down at the beach, you can see people get out of the water, but there's no way you could get to them. I mean, that's quite a ways away. Now, there's also a possibility. I was talking it through out loud because I talked to myself out loud. And I said, well, what if they were visiting from out of town?
Mm-hmm. And they got in their car and they went back to Fresno.
And obviously, I think people that live here know to be careful with those cliffs because we hear about it. I mean, there was just a guy 2 weeks ago that fell from that cliff.
I mean, think
right
about
by
it.
the restaurant there.
You're visiting from Fresno and you fall into the water. That's enough for you to call it a weekend, right? You're like, I just want to get home.
You get in your car and you drive to Fresno?
Yes, I just want to get home. I just want to go home. I don't want to be here any longer. I fell in the water. Okay. My gotta get my dye game back on my blue hair, and I'm calling it a day.
Okay, so maybe that's the case. Maybe that is a possibility for sure. They were visiting from out of town. This happened, and they bolted.
People for falling in the water?
I'm not mad at these people. I mean,
You seem like you're a little frustrated.
If these people know what's going on, a lot of people, see, this is what happened. I started reading the comments on the story, and a lot of people said, hey, listen, they're afraid that they're going to get stuck with some big bill from the Coast Guard because they had to fly a helicopter and bring a boat out there.
That too.
Which, at the same time, I'm sure it's good training for them, right? I mean,
that too.
Would you get stuck with the bill?
That would totally creep into my conscience as well.
Not me, because I've got my life alert or whatever, life flight. I would I got life flight.
Don't you have to call their helicopter though? You can't call the Coast Guard's helicopter.
I don't know how. No, it's insurance. So I don't know how that works. Actually, I probably should look into
at the policy.
But I believe how it works is any helicopter that picks me up and takes me to a hospital, the insurance covers that.
I don't think these people. I mean,
it doesn't have to be one of theirs.
I mean, what if you just went swimming? What if they just went swimming?
No, they didn't go swimming. People said she fell, and then he was panicked, running around, and then dove off the cliff.
She's not very graceful, jumping off the cliff. Maybe it just looked like a fall. I don't know. We don't know. And then the problem is you, Mr. Facts First, over there started reading the comments and drawing your conclusions from the comment section. That's the problem.
But wait a second. I came in here and I started asking you questions.
Right.
Because these are the theories that are going through my mind.
My theory was they fell in the water, they figured out a way to get back out, and then they called it a day. That's what my theory was.
So here's my second part to this.
That's the facts first. Then you start.
You don't know that. You don't know. They could still be out there.
With this injecture, and then you got people saying, oh, well, we saw them leave, and oh, well, they don't want to be saddled with the bill.
It's like they fell in a swimming pool. I mean, they fell into, something with current and riptides.
Maybe really strong swimmers.
Maybe somebody that has blue hair is a strong swimmer?
Mermaid.
Do you know anybody that has blue hair?
Mermaids.
That's my question.
They're all mermaids.
If you know anyone who has blue hair today, you better call them and make sure it wasn't them.
Yeah, and
nobody's been reported missing also, according to the news. Not as of last night.
This will be one of those mysteries because the people were strong swimmers. So
there was a guy a week ago that washed up in Oceano. I don't even know where the hell he came from. He was washed. He was in the water. They had to go get him.
They said it was
out on the dunes.
No foul play though on that one.
Oh, but you don't watch the news. I watch the news all the time, but you know the answers?
It was in Scott's news last week. You should listen to the news.
What was the news? What was the story?
Said the body washed ashore in Oceano and there was no foul play. At least that's what the authorities are saying.
Well, I heard that part, but they don't know where he came from.
I don't know. I guess they could surmise through their expertise.
So if you know anybody with blue hair today, maybe check in on them. See if they're going to answer the phone. See if they'll give you a text.
Were you within a 100-mile radius?
Yeah.
I would have just asked if he was.
Well, I wanted to see if he had to go fix anything on the homeless women and kids shelter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Screw up his job at all or something like that.
Is it over 100 miles to Fresno?
Bakersfield. Yes. Just over 100 miles.
To Bakersfield?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, it's like 107 or something.
Yeah, something
Is it
like
really?
that. Yeah.
From here, as the crow flies.
No, I don't. We don't have wings, so we can't go as the crow flies. We have to go as the car drives.
Oh, I see. Were you outside when this happened, or whatever you were doing?
Yeah.
Was it outside? Okay, so
There's
he was
3
outside.
questions. Okay, 4th question. Boy, we've not asked good questions so far.
Oh, you get 2 more.
How many did you get?
We haven't decided yet.
3 apiece. 3 apiece. 3 apiece? You've asked 2. I've asked 1.
So you were outside, away from your home, but you were probably within the county.
Would this be construed as recreation?
Yes. Yes.
Were you consuming anything during this process?
Yes.
All right, hold on a second. All right. So, you think you went wine tasting?
Is that recreating? Sitting on your ass underneath an umbrella with
What
a
if he
big
was playing
hat on?
bocce ball and drinking wine, you know?
I mean, I feel like those bocce ball courts, though, are there. They're not really used.
I see people use them.
Very rarely.
I've played a couple times. It's not that fun, but
I mean, you see it, and you're like, oh, let's go throw the ball around. You throw it around for
So he
5
was
minutes. You're like,
outside,
let's go drink more wine.
it was a
Put
nice
a floppy
weekend.
hat on.
It was a nice weekend. He was outside. He was eating or consuming something. So, what do you do outside where you eat or consume?
There's no festivals right now.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. Do you think he went to the Kristen Smart thing in Paso at the park?
No, I don't think people. That's not recreation.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just standing.
Yeah, I heard that went well. By the way, thanks to Trisha Butcher, our buddy, for putting that together. I didn't realize she put the whole thing together. Looked like she did a really nice job. Well, that would be my guess.
Okay, I get one more question.
You do?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Who asked the first question? Me? I must have.
You asked the first 2. I asked 2. Recreating was my last one.
I asked 3.
Yeah,
I
you-
said inside your house. Were you outside and then
Did you consume something?
Consuming, yes. Could be, remember, not eating. Could be. Okay, Jeff has his final question for you.
While consuming stuff outside, while recreating, do you think that you consumed more than 1,200 calories?
Let's see. No. I just did the math.
Did the math.
You just did the math.
Yeah.
So 1,200.
How much?
Huh?
I know how many calories are in a Budweiser.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So you were drinking Budweiser. That helps us. Hold on.
That's okay.
He ran his mouth. He should have kept his
Yeah,
mouth shut.
because we were going to go totally winery.
Yeah. Okay, we obviously wasn't. Maybe there was some music. Maybe there was music that we don't know about. I've had some friends post some pictures. They were at a concert.
Morehouse. Morehouse is doing music.
So he
outside.
said he was outside, he was recreating, and he was drinking a Budweiser. But he wasn't at home.
Okay.
He could have been helping a friend do a project, right? Maybe he was helping a friend do a project.
So here's what makes me think it was dancing is because he hemmed and hawed a bit when I said, was it recreating? And he was like, yeah.
But could helping your buddy do something in his yard be recreating? Could that be a...
True. Okay, so we each get 2 guesses. I'm going to guess dancing. You
Okay.
go with...
All right, got it.
home
All right,
improvement
got
project.
it. All right, here we go. All right, we each get a guess.
Okay.
We think we figured this out. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go
You go
first,
first, because you may have heard what I just said.
Jeff? Okay. Were you helping someone with a project?
No.
Were you listening to live music and dancing?
No.
All right, what were you doing?
I was, my dad and I both took a 6-pack and a sandwich and drove out Highway 58 looking for brass shell casings.
This is
That's one of the
minutia.
two places.
And we can't support drinking and driving. Thank you for calling.
That is complete minutia.
On the ground. Plus, I'm not supporting drinking and driving.
That is complete minutia
I
right there.
I didn't know you go. I know for a fact you did not go on horseback. Okay, so
Well, recreating, I think he meant by walking.
yeah, looking for your brass shell case.
Looking for brass shell cases?
Yeah, it's not. It is not. I mean, I don't know. You hike a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's recreating. I think it is. I mean, if you're walking around, but it's minutia. That's ridiculous. No one can figure that out. 805-543-3693. We told you we're going to be tougher on this. All right?
Yes.
805-543-3693.
And we don't support drinking and driving. And to be honest with you, if you're walking with your dad through the woods looking for shell casings while drinking Bud Light or Budweiser, I'm sorry, Aaron. Hate to assume that you're trying to lose weight. I say that is a project of some sort. You asked if you're
you were helping somebody with a project.
Were you
looking for brass?
Were you helping out somebody for a project? And
yeah,
that's kind of a project.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. You didn't say home improvement project.
All right. We have somebody else on the phone?
Yeah, we have another Aaron on the phone.
All right. Aaron, number 2.
A big day for Ironman.
All right. We'll be right back to see if we can been there, done that with them. And then if not, if they stump us, they're going to win. But it can't be, you got to be honest. All right, here we go. Been there, done that. We have another Aaron on the phone.
Been there, done that.
There you go.
Demon. Did you get the dragon from Tic-Tac-Toe to voice that?
Remember that? I love that dragon as a kid. I couldn't wait for that dragon to come out.
Been there, done that.
Lisa says, talking about last Aaron, she says, sounds interesting. Unless he did it with his dad. See, that was, the alcohol wears off as they were walking in the heat. I'm waiting for someone to say they buried a body in the country. Now, that sounds fun. Jesus, Lisa.
Hey,
I mean, this pandemic is making people evil.
Nothing good happens on the 58, okay? You know that. Nothing good happens.
We have another Aaron on the phone. He is going to try to stump us now with an interesting story. He has to answer all our questions correctly. If we don't get it right, he's going to get a $25 gift card. If he stumps us, he wins. If we get it right, we move to the next person. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing wonderful. How about you?
We're doing great. So just real quick, how this works is Jeff and I are going to try to figure out what you did this weekend, okay? We're each going to ask you 3 questions, and you all you have to do is answer yes or no to these questions, okay? And then we're each going to get a guess.
Okay.
If we figure out what you did, we say, have a great day. If we don't, then you win, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Now, the other thing is, if it's completely ridiculous, and it's like nobody in a million years could figure it out because, for example, you were programming software for some reason that would be
coming up with a math equation.
We always say it has to be something interesting, so it has to be something that people would have interest in. Okay.
Okay.
And like Narcy Aaron back there. He was helping his dad look for brass. So when I said, were you helping somebody with a project, he should have said yes.
What was because you asked if something was consumed. I was going to say, what was the significance of him telling us that he was drinking Budweiser? But then I forgot that one of the questions you asked.
I always like to ask that question because then we have an idea if they're, with the kind of things you can do around here. I kind of like to stick to the same questions. So unless you have a question ready, Jeff, I'll ask the first question.
Go for it.
Did you do this at your home?
No.
No.
Did it take place indoors?
No.
Okay, so that means that it had to be outdoors. Couldn't be anything indoors, anything inside. So not at home, not outdoors. So, let's see. I love that recreating question. That's yours. Were you were you consuming anything during this process?
No.
Would you consider what you did as getting exercise?
No, not really.
Okay, so you were not at home, you were outside, you weren't drinking anything, and you weren't doing any kind of moving around.
I was moving around.
But not getting exercise.
Not getting exercise.
but not exercise. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
No exercise.
Okay, we have 2 more questions. You go, Jeremy.
All right. Hold on a second. All right, we gotta figure this out here. All right. Anybody can text in, by the way, 805-543-3693. Everybody has to know that you're helping us. Not at home. He's outside. He's not consuming anything. So he's doing something outside, and he's at least walking. So maybe he was walking somewhere.
Boring as that.
What else would you do outside? He could have been at the, he could have been. See, now that I brought up the Kristen Smart thing a little bit ago, he might have heard that, and maybe that's what he was doing. Because you would be outside, you would be not at your house, you wouldn't be consuming anything, and you really wouldn't be exercising. So we each get one more question.
Okay.
He said he was moving, right? So I don't need to ask those questions. Were there other people around? Is that a good
I
question?
think that's a great question. I would give it a hard number because other people around could be his wife or whatever. I would say, were there more than 10 people doing the same thing that you were, or 20 or 30?
That's a lot, though.
But there was like 100 people there. So if you really think it's that,
Well, I don't know if it is that, but you're right. I'm going to say, were 15? All right. My final question is, were there more than 15 people around you while you were doing this?
I would say yes.
You would say there were more than 15 people around you while you were doing this?
Yes.
Around you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. More than
Within
15.
the vicinity. Yeah, 15, more than 15, definitely.
What's a vicinity?
Just like, say, 100 yards.
okay.
Okay. Thanks for that extra free knowledge.
Yeah.
Sure, you bet.
You didn't have to answer that.
That's right.
More than 15 within 100 yards.
So I get one more question.
Yeah, one more question, and I think this Aaron might have got us. We'll see.
Did it take place on Friday or Saturday?
It was Saturday.
You could have just said yes or no. It took place on Saturday. What that mean?
That's all right.
All right.
I don't think you guys will get it.
Okay, so hold on a second. All right. We're
Saturday.
going to talk it out. Hold on.
Wasn't it Saturday? I think it was Saturday.
Well, yeah.
That's
That
gotta be
thing
one of
was
the
on
guesses.
Saturday.
That's got to be one of the guesses.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's it. What else would you be doing outside with more than 15 people within 100 yards of you? That means he's at least downtown, right? He's at least somewhere. Like, you wouldn't be...
That's going to be one of the guesses. We know that. We need to figure out what
He could have been in a...
alternate.
Yeah. Been at the beach?
Let's go with that.
Okay. All right, so here we are. These are our guesses. Jeff's going to go first.
Okay.
Were you at the beach?
No.
Guess whatever you want to guess.
Were you in downtown?
What? What the hell kind of question is that?
Yes.
You were at the Kristen Smart thing.
No.
What were you doing?
I pulled up to a stoplight. And, so we're done, right? You done with your guesses?
Yes,
we're
yeah,
done. We're
yeah.
gonna give you. We're gonna give you the $25.
Yeah, now we're going to make
Okay.
sure that that this is legitimate.
So I pull up to a stoplight. My daughter had looked over and saw something coming out of a car. Someone had run over a fuel can, and it was hazing over and sparking, and the car was getting ready to catch on fire. And I leapt out of the car and chucked the fuel can over 2 lanes of traffic into the weeds at the light.
Caught the weeds on fire.
No, it didn't. The fuel can wasn't ignited yet, but it was just getting ready to go up, and the guy's car was going to catch on fire. So he didn't even know he ran it over. And I ran out and I ripped it out from underneath his car and chucked it over 2 lanes
Which
of traffic.
downtown did this happen
in the
in?
dirt. This is in San Luis.
Wow.
Somebody just drove over a gas can somehow, somewhere. I don't know
What
if he
street?
pulled off the
What
highway
street
and
were
did it
you
or
on?
what.
What street were you on?
It was just coming off the highway, right there at the light, and simple downtown, right by the, right by Madonna there.
Like Chevron station there, in that area?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I pulled off the highway there, right up by Madonna there, and then My daughter's like, "Hey, Dad, look at that!" I'm like, "Oh my God, that guy's car's getting on fire."
There was more than 15 people around you in the middle of the highway.
Well, when we pulled off the highway at the stoplight, there was people around. Nobody even saw it. So the whole crew, like all the cars pulled off the highway, and everybody.
Do
sitting
you
there
really
without
think
even-
you needed to do that, or were you being just a tad dramatic?
No, I was in the military, man. You do what you need to do.
See something, do something, right?
Huh.
You got it. No, my daughter knows I'm like that. I'm very
that
much
is
like that.
Is that interesting, Jeff?
It's kind of interesting.
I think it's kind of interesting too. I think it's really interesting that number one. So I just have So this gas can is being dragged behind a car, and you.
It was underneath the front air dam of the car. The guy had run it over
and drug it. So because he was
And just
dragging it, it was sparking.
Yeah, and it was hazing. There was a little bit of fuel coming out of it, and there was.
What do you mean by hazing? Like I don't understand.
Well, right before fuel ignites, it'll haze.
Okay, you mean like if you're looking at pavement on a hot day and it's got that wavy notion, that's what it was doing. You could see the vapors.
Yeah, my daughter's like, "Dad, that's gonna explode or something." I'm like, "Yeah."
So you had to go up to the guy in the car and tell him to stop his car?
He'd pull up to the light. He didn't even realize it.
Thank God for red lights, huh?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So at any time you jump out of the car, this guy could have ran you over because your arm's under the car pulling out a gas can.
I waved at him. Threw my arms in like an X and kept flashing that and told him to stop, and I yarded it out of there and threw it. Yeah.
Wow. Did he keep going, or did he pull over and talk to you?
I just waved at him, and we went on our way.
Oh.
Thanks for saving the day.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, hold on the line. We're going to give you a $25 gift card to the Human Being.
Well, cool. Thanks, guys.
See, Jeremy's upset because he would have liked to see that on the news, too. Car ignites into flames as it's getting off the Marsh Street.
Sure. Well, it's just interesting to find out what happens in people's lives. My life is so boring. The most exciting thing I saw was a helicopter, like a lot of people did, flying over the ocean.
Running up to the front of your car and put the hands up and said, "Stop, do whatever you do."
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I had a blowout on my trailer when I was one of my tires, and some guy's honking at me to pull over, and that's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me on the road. But nobody, I mean, to see a gas can, would you think to run up and grab that gas can? And No, I wouldn't.
I just sit there and watch it and go, that's weird. That could have been serious tragedy.
But we weren't in the military.
Nope. Farthest thing from. We went to broadcasting school.
Sorry. It's a good thing Aaron was there and it wasn't Jeff or Jeremy. You probably would have exploded.